So that's Amanda's husband.
Yep.
Yes, it is.
Doesn't look nearly as haggard and beat up as I thought he would be.
Oh, oh.
She can't hear me, right?
She may have heard that. I heard a hey.
Love you, Amanda.
Which chat?
Oh boy, you're in trouble now.
He's always in trouble.
Guess I'm
I
not
know.
getting anything crocheted for Christmas.
Uh, Give it a couple minutes for people to filter in. Soon. I promise we are starting soon.
Soon, trademark by Blizzard.
Hmm. Yeah, it's kind of interesting, like going through this. And I had the brilliant idea to do this because they had pre-gens, and it's like, well, they're running the Indiegogo, which goes for another 7 days for the new printing, which looks really, really cool. They've got some amazing artwork, at least for the covers. Um, it's like, I just realized that, I'm looking at the adventure in PDF. It's like, I don't have PDFs of the books because there are no PDFs of the current books. It's like, I've got to look at this stuff in actual print copies. Like, I don't even remember how to do that anymore.
Yeah, and while I looked at the basic play rules or play whatever
Mm-hmm.
guides, I didn't like hardcore study. I just kind of flashed through it, just to kind of get a gist of how it differs from Castles and Crusades and Powered by the Apocalypse and all that crap. So
Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest with you. We're going to be playing it very, very much by ear because they, we had the opportunity to run something, and I was like, all right, I'll run. I'll give it a shot. I have not had the opportunity to like go hardcore looking through the rules, so we're just gonna play everything by ear.
so I say not a lot of debate, a lot of heavy action, so we can get to the end. Let's not inspect every little tiny detail.
Oh
Guns
boy.
blazing, people, guns blazing.
Except apparently we do have to burn all the books. Apparently this is related to Call of Cthulhu.
We
So
have
you
to
all
burn all the what?
you burn the book.
Uh, Joffrey, are you talking about me? Because I can do that.
Who's Joffrey?
All right.
What are you
Apparently,
talking
no.
about?
Apparently, my mic is coming in very, very hot, and I'm not sure why that is.
I thought
So
you said we. Hang on, let me refresh Twitch. I'm not seeing blue box. Oh, there it is.
I'll back that off a bit.
It looks like it may be mine.
No, no, it was definitely me. It's like I was just saying stuff, and it was like redlining in OBS.
Mute the stream. There we go.
Okay, cool. All right. Well, in that case, I am going to move us live so you can see all your lovely faces. Oh, I know the horror.
I don't have my makeup on.
Well, hello everyone. Welcome to this guest shot of Amazing Adventures, a role playing game by Troll Lord Games, a proud sponsor of this channel. Um, I'm joined today by four intrepid players who've decided to take the plunge and play a game with me that I honestly have been, dying to get the chance to run, have not had a chance to, and have not yet played either. So we're all going to be learning this together. I'm sure we're going to make lots of mistakes. Awesome, going to be a lot of fun.
There's a
Um,
Deadpool open.
yeah. Yeah, we've already had some interesting shenanigans just trying to figure some stuff out from the pre-generated characters, but here we are. Manda Mystical Unicorn Painting is going to be putting the link every periodically in the chat for the Indiegogo that Troller Games is running. It has another 7 days to go. The game is already funded. We are at the point
I saw that,
where
man.
they're looking to break or actually unlock additional adventures and additional source material. There's, I believe, been 2 adventures unlocked. We're getting close to a third one. So really cool. I know they've already been hard at work, and the artwork for it is, at least the cover artwork for it has been really really neat to see. So if you get the chance, take a look. Yeah, so going to go and really quickly introduce the players and let them tell you a little bit about the characters they're playing. After which, I will give you the lowdown as to where we're starting. So, why don't we start in the upper left-hand corner with one of the channel veterans and man who's played in a bunch of one-shots. He's most famous for never winning anything. Just he will make it be known that he just cannot win anything.
I never
Pat.
do. Hello, I'm Pat Draws. Pat Draws on Instagram and Twitter until something better comes along. Channel troll for most of the Blue Box and other favorites channels. I will be playing Tennessee O'Malley, kind of a Indiana Jones type archaeologist and history buff and adventurer, except I'm much better looking and probably younger. I tend to think with my fists instead of my brains a lot of times, and because hey, die young, leave a good looking corpse, right? That's what it's all about.
I just like to remind you that we named the cat Tennessee. Anyway.
I thought the cat named. I thought the cat named me Tennessee.
Had to do a variation on the joke. I mean, you couldn't just leave it there. It's just too easy. Next we have somebody who's played in a couple of my one shots before. Been brave enough to volunteer for that duty. So, Katie, let us know who you're
Hi
playing.
everyone. Yes, I'm Katie or Sweet KT or Sweet KT 420. And I will be playing Marie Laveau, who is the granddaughter of the voodoo queen Marie Laveau, and has a maybe just dabbled a little bit of her own in some dark magic, which is maybe by others in this group not appreciated as much, but who are those who are science-based. But I like to think that it definitely gives her an edge when it comes to needing to call upon those powers.
Fantastic. All right. Next we have man who's probably best known as Mystical Unicorn Painting's other half. He's been a guest on Lore Masters Arcanum, and he's also played, I think, in a couple of the one shots, if I remember correctly, or maybe I'm not even sure anymore.
You don't think so?
No, or maybe it's just the various LMAs. Mike, you're up.
I am playing Maddie Black, a private detective operating out of New Orleans. He's apparently an attractive young blonde, which obviously is not me.
Enough rum, you will be.
As long as you're the one drinking it.
All right. And finally, we have a newcomer to the both to being on the stream as well as just joined the Discord as well. John.
Hey, I'm John. I'm Kitty's brother. Leaf in the Wind, Leaf in most places that count. Leaf in the Wind on Twitch, and I'll be playing James Bucky Newsome. So he prefers to go by Bucky. And he's like a technical guy, engineering whiz, but he likes to fancy himself as like the swashbuckling type. So he tends to solve things with science and think that that's the end all be all. But it thinks of himself as like an Errol Flynn swashbuckler type, even though it doesn't really play too strong. So And he apparently is in love with Maddie, so prepare yourself.
I
But
got some
apparently it's
rum
not
for you.
reciprocal.
Well, from what I understand, might be a little bashful about showing it. Just in case anyone's wondering if there's going to be any sudden declarations.
That's going to be a hard. That's going to be a hard nut to crack over there.
Oh boy. Yeah, and we do have. There are a couple of NPCs though. I'm going to leave them there unless I find out that we really need them at some point. In which case, they may make a sudden appearance to help try to save the day. Maybe.
Glitter Bomb John, yay! Oh.
Eh. All right. So to set the scenes, we begin in 1939. We're actually in the city of New Orleans. The world has been plunged into the beginnings of the Second World War. Wars broken out in Europe and raging across the continent. The U.S. is still a couple of years away from joining the war efforts, though things have, there's been stresses here and there. And, for members of a secret organization, which the party belongs to, the Brotherhood of William St. John, foreign issues sometimes become domestic issues in the weirdest of ways, because whenever there's chaos, there's always somebody looking to take advantage. The four of you actually have made your way to New Orleans, trying to enjoy some time off, some relaxation. It is the period of for Mardi Gras, after all. However, unfortunately, as these things always do happen, you end up receiving a phone call, a long-distance phone call from overseas, which in 1939 is a rare thing indeed. The phone call is from none other than Maddie Gleason, the leader of the Brotherhood of William St. John, and someone who is not prone to calling unless something has really gone awry. To sum up the phone call, Maddie tells you that she has concerns that of an acquaintance, actually someone mostly known. You're aware of her. A woman by the name of Angela Ducharme, who runs an occult shop in the city. Something sounded terribly wrong when Maddie had heard from Angela and had asked you to make your way there with all due haste. So it is, you find yourself outside the occult shop, and despite the fact that it is midday, and despite the fact that Mardi Gras festivities are in full swing, the place is dark, the doors are closed, but there is nothing to suggest, no sign left, nothing to suggest that Angela had closed simply to either go take part in the festivities. And what's weirder is you would figure this is one of those times where she would take advantage of all the tourists in town and try to sell charms and trinkets to those who are not local and don't know any better. What would you
Seems
like
to
to
me
do?
she only
Your
calls when she thinks we're having fun.
Well, I suppose we should look around for any signs of, foul play, perhaps. Should I do maybe an investigation check?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
All right. 9 plus 3 plus my level, right? So 5. So that'll be a 17.
Is it a prime?
Yeah, it's a prime.
Okay. as you're investigating, you manage to get a peek through the window. The window's a little crowded with different things that she's placed there. Things basically to try to lure the average tourist in. The unusual pieces, maybe bits of what appear to be skulls or other bones, charms and such. But you do notice that inside that there looks to be a shelf that the items of which are either missing or look like some of them have been knocked over.
Hmm. Interesting. What do you guys make of this?
You said that I would have recognized that name. Do I know Angela, or do I have any history or like knowledge of her acquaintance?
Yeah, you do know that she is actually legit, so far as her powers go, but you also know that she really is a grifter. She has absolutely no problem taking money from tourists, selling them completely fake, fake readings, fake trinkets. She uses her powers just enough to make it feel real for them, but in terms of her abilities, she does have abilities. She also actually do me a favor. Give me a wisdom check.
That is 23. It's also a prime.
Yeah, you recall conversations in some of the circles. The fact that Angela tends to be somewhat of a self-medicator. Her powers or occasionally get out of her control, and they can cause her considerable pain. So she tends to take different substances to help ease that pain.
Robert, I'm looking around at the debris or the stuff that's scattered and laying around the floor.
Mm-hmm.
Do I see anything that indicates that she was collecting a specific sort of trinkets or things of legend, or you know what I'm saying? Anything
Yeah,
that looks
no,
like she's
you're
collecting
not.
something kind of specific that somebody would be looking for other than a typical hex shop.
Yeah, you're not seeing anything here, anything in the window that suggests like any kind of pattern. It's just really general. Most of it, even to your eyes, and because you're not immune to seeing these kinds of things, even you can recognize them as probably fake.
Yeah.
It would look real enough to somebody who hasn't seen so much as to be a little bit jaded.
Mm-hmm.
Is the door completely like locked and boarded up and everything?
No, actually, the door appears to be just closed.
Should we go inside, just check it out, see if there's anything inside that gives us more info?
Yeah, sounds good.
I'm gonna ask them to let me go in first, since I'm kind of used to
Have at it.
Always Tennessee.
only the good die young. I'm gonna check the door. And I'm not just gonna like kick it right open or anything like that, but I'm gonna check the door to see if it looks like it's been jimmied or broken in or kicked in or.
Nope, the door seems to be perfectly intact.
No, I don't see any traps or anything that looks like.
You want to give me an intellect check?
Not really. Oh yeah, okay. I never mind. Intellect's a prime. I'll do that. Yeah, sure. I'm a dumbass. I'm big. I'm a rock. That was a 1.
The door looks very much like
door.
a
It's got a shiny handle.
it is a door.
Let's go in.
It's a solid door, but it's a door.
It's got a handle, and hey, look, it's not locked. Let's go in. Everything looks good.
Okay.
All right, let's go.
when you enter, you open the door. It gives a little creak as it opens. You hear a small bell ring to that announce your entrance. As you would have, so that if she was in the back, customer, she would know that a potential customer had walked in. You see on the shelves nearby, there's things like small shrunken heads, skulls, lots of phony voodoo trappings. There are some genuine gypsy fortune telling cards, like just the kind of stuff again aimed at the tourists. Uh, at first it seems right at the moment it seems rather deserted. You do note that you do see the shelf heading, and it's kind of like on its way towards the back, that the stuff had fallen off of, or had been like kind of looks like it had been pushed off of, but it's only on one shelf for whatever reason.
Is there any sort of label on that shelf? I want to look a little closer.
No, it's actually more of the same. There's you see there's some tarot, some sets of tarot cards. Nothing, but like nothing unpackaged, and even the stuff that's fallen. There's been a few small trinkets that broke, but no real pattern to the stuff that's there.
Yeah, it's not like somebody tore a label off and dropped it on the ground or something like that.
No.
Yeah. Well, Marie, you said you had some sort of relationship with this person. Shouldn't she be,
Yeah, I'll
greeting her customers?
You said the lights are off in here too? Like
Yes.
It's like closed.
Yeah. The lights are currently off.
I'm gonna try and like head back if it looks like there's like a back room area or like any sort of place where she might normally just hang out or be.
There does appear to be a back room. As a matter of fact, as you head back, you see some curtains kind of delineating for the storefront area from the back room.
I'll head back there.
I'm going to position myself out of sight of the front door, but so I can see it and keep an eye out for anyone coming in.
Okay. So, Marie, as you head to the back, as you get closer, you hear a soft moan coming from behind the curtains. It does sound, and when I say moan, it sounds like female moan, it's someone in distress.
Upon hearing that, I'll kind of just rush forward even quicker, and I'm jump into the assumption it might be Angela in need of help.
Okay.
I'm gonna follow her in.
So as you go back there, you find Angela. She's clad in a flowing black dress, the kind that she might wear just for wearing around the shop. Something to add to the feel of the place. I mean, it is supposed to be an occult shop. You had heard, you hadn't actually run into Angela in quite some time, or hadn't really even seen her about. But you know that she was supposed to, they had been talks that she was, once beautiful, but right now she looks rather wasted, rather emaciated. Her skin's kind of yellow. She's lying there, her elbow and, you notice that on her arm she's got puncture marks, and she's just on the ground, kind of sitting there staring out at nothing, just moaning.
I'll rush to her side. Angela, this is Marie. Can you hear me? Is she like lucid at all?
She hears your voice, and as she get closer, she suddenly reaches up and grabs you. And she's staring at you, but her eyes are just unfocused. And she says, "You came. I knew Mackie would send someone. You have to stop them. Stop the serpent god. And her eyes close, and they open again, and she's my desk, and she's like trying to point over. She's trying to raise her hand back further into where there is a stout wooden desk there with some paperwork and such on it. Uh, uh she's like, I'm sorry. I couldn't help it. The visions too powerful. And you see she starts like reaching and clawing at her neck, and you get the distinct feeling like she's trying to like pull a collar off of herself, but there's nothing there. Doctor Serpent. And her eyes close, and her head just like falls backwards. She's still breathing, but it's very slow. And then it just stops with a rattling sigh. And for whatever reason, suddenly she looks very, very peaceful, which is just bizarre based on
She's
the way
still
she
breathing.
looked a moment ago.
She's still breathing.
Actually, right at the moment, she appears to have stopped breathing.
Oh no.
Like she. Okay. I think I can potentially heal her. I do have cure light wounds. I don't know if that will work or not, but can I try?
Okay, I mean, if you want to give it a shot.
Real promising there.
I was gonna say if that doesn't work, I can give it a shot with my 45.
I mean, I guess let me ask this. Do I get the sense that she is like in some sort of trance or state that I've maybe recognized or seen before, or is it
Has she passed?
has she
Okay.
yeah, like she lost a lot of blood and
give me a wisdom check.
25 and it's prime.
Okay, so among the things that you notice, one, you realize that your eyes look around and you notice that there's a needle nearby. Apparently, she had been medicating herself, but something feels wrong, and you're thinking this isn't just whatever she took. You start sensing a really, really strong aura of corrupt magical energy, and worse, it's growing stronger. It's all about this room. Something tells you to look up, and you note from near the desk, shadows start corporealizing and heading towards you.
I immediately alert everybody else and point out all the things that you just described.
Okay.
There's shadows.
And that's the point where we're going to roll initiative.
I was gonna say, is this where I get to use my anachronism as Harrison Ford? I've got a bad feeling about this.
Don't feel too bad. I'm an electro sword in 1939, so anachronisms are a pass here, I think.
Oh, we basically, I mean, the fun part about Amazing Adventure is like you can have everything in the insane thing. It's like all the weirdness and just throw it all together. All right, so we are going to stay with doing group initiative for this. So since you're the one who discovered her, Katie, I'm going to have you roll a d10 and let me know what you get.
6.
All right, well, the adventure guide has a 5, so you get to go first as to what you'd like to do.
We run and scream in terror.
You said the shadows are coming near the desk area.
They're appearing near the desk and heading towards you. And you've got a very to use the quote, you've got a very, very bad feeling about this.
Yeah. I will go ahead and I'm gonna go ahead and cast Bless on all of my allies.
All right.
So I think I need to make a wisdom check in order to cast it successfully.
Robert, it says one of my abilities is disguise. I can blend in with any cultural group. Can I blend in with the shadows?
That is not a cultural group.
It's worth a try.
So I got a 23 on the intelligence check, Robert. So I think that passes because it's a first level spell.
All right. And bless. All right. So all allies get a +1 to hit and +1 save versus fear for 5 minutes. Okay. Would you like to move at all?
Yeah, can I, how far away are is this, like, are the shadows?
Yeah, they're probably, they're no less than 20 feet from you, or no more
Okay.
than 20 feet from you, I should say.
I will, head back a little bit so that I'm not the first target.
So so the rest of you see Marie coming from the back. Shadows.
Yeah, but good luck.
Well, judging by my first intellect roll on my first instinct is like, well, of course there's shadows. It's dark in here. I do have a question, Robert. When you said the last thing she said before she passed out or croaked was Dr. Serpent.
Yes.
Do I need to roll to see if that name rings a bell? Because I could have sworn I read that my character was already familiar with that name. Or did I read it wrong?
Hold on 1 second.
I believe you're already familiar.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that you're already familiar.
I mean, are we all already familiar or just me? I didn't read everybody's. I guess I only read mine.
Well, according to my background, everybody but Bucky was involved in a too close encounter with the Order of the Dragon and their mysterious leader, Dr. Serpent.
So it sounds like we've got some history with.
Yeah. I'm going with you based on the fact that you're all part of the group. You're all familiar.
And we're all doing it. Ah, crap, this guy.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, I'm looking at the shadows. I guess I'll try and put some light on them. So is there like a light switch? I'm a gadgeteer, so I'll probably figure out, is there some way to turn on lights, or maybe I can make it quick flash or something like that?
Well, I mean, you could turn on lights. You could find, there is a light switch, that you could find. Right. I mean, if you wanted to go and try something else, you could also do that.
Well, if I get a free interaction, I'm going to flip on the lights. If I don't, I'm going to go and stand in front. And can I like ready an attack with my electro sword?
Yeah.
If the shadows come at us.
And hold on a second. Let me take a look at those shadows again, because I want to see. Okay. Yeah. I mean, yeah. Actually, you have a choice. You can either find a light switch, or you can ready the sword. It's not completely dark in here, but to keep going with the pun, the room is filled with shadows.
Yeah, I'm still gonna do that. I feel like fighting shadows in the dark is a bad plan. So
okay.
I'm not familiar with this wizard magic occult stuff, but I think that's the best strategy.
Yeah, all right. You find your way to one of the light switches and turn it on, and I mean the room. It's not like the room gets really bright, but You definitely see better as the shadows start to emerge from behind the curtain. All right. In that case, Maddie, what would you like to do?
I'm going to stay back, um, pull out my knife because I doubt the gun will do anything to him, and stay by the door for a quick exit.
All right. And I want to welcome those of you who just raided in with Troll Lord Games. Trolls, people, we are playing Amazing Adventures, Menace of the Serpent God. And we have just arrived at the first combat. All right, and in that case, actually, Tennessee, did you go yet for this?
No, I haven't. He said he flickered on the light.
Yes.
Did it seem to slow the shadows down any at all, or?
No, it does not. It does not appear to slow the shadows down. However, it made them easier for you to see them, because they were as they came in from the back room, they were blending in very well with the darkness in the occult shop. So
looking around quickly as I reach into my pocket, is there like any rolled up maps or rolls of scrolls of paper that I can light up as a torch and see if fire aggravates them? I mean, I'm not trying to set the room on fire. I mean, something I can grab and hold it in my hand, and just like good old fashioned action movies. Grab a torch.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, not far from you, there are maps for sale of spooky New Orleans.
She wouldn't happen to have like a weird voodoo flamethrower in the room. Just checking. That's what I'm going to do. I have a lighter in my pocket, and I'm going to grab the biggest wad of bunched up paper I can find that looks torch-like, and I'm going to start burning the end of it.
Okay.
And see if waving it at the spirit things does anything, because I'm pretty sure a bullet's not going to hurt them. Or a tomahawk. So that's pretty much all I've got.
Fire in early 20th century cities. What could go wrong?
Hey, they had sprinkler systems then. Not very many, but they had some.
All right. So at this point, really, honestly, the only person, the shadows start to spread out among the room to like make their way to each of you. However, the only person that is currently in reach of one of them is Marie. So one of them is going to attack. That might not be good enough. Hold on a second. Yeah, no, I'm thinking AC 11 is not going to hit you.
Nope.
Let me just make sure that they only get one attack.
And she's got that plus. She's got that +5 stink eye going too. So
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. No. They only. We call it. They only get one attack. So, you do note that they are not quite on the ground. They're kind of like flying towards you. And they're moving rather quickly. So, you get the distinct feeling that outrunning them, it probably won't work.
How many does it appear like there
4
are?
of them. There are 4.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Let's roll initiative again.
Oh, contested every round.
Yes. You want me to do it again too, since I won last time?
Yep. You roll until you lose.
Ooh, nice.
Okay. Venture Guide has a 2. All right. This is about par for the course. So, in case you're wondering, yes, I tend to lose.
We have a chance, people.
All right. Marie, what would you like to do?
All right.
I will. Can I? So this one that I'm next to is like obviously in melee range because he just tried, or it just
Yes.
tried to attack me, right? I'm gonna try and see if it's possible to like attack it with my ceremonial dagger. Like I don't know if I can swipe through the shadow with the
Sure.
dagger.
Go for it.
Imbue with little magic. So I rolled a 13 on the die, and then my bonus is +1, so 14. Do I add my level to that as well or no?
No, it would be just your bonus, whatever your bonus to hit.
My bonus. Okay.
So.
Then I've got a 14 total.
All right. Well, yeah, your dagger cuts through it. It seems to have an effect on it.
Okay. Cool. The damage is 3 damage.
3 damage.
3 damage.
All right. It has an effect. It doesn't seem to have that much of an effect, but it definitely did something to it. It, maybe slightly recoiled from it. All right.
I'll make a note. I'll just shout out to everybody after that happens that they can be hit with physical damage, just in case everybody was not.
Okay. In that case, why don't we go to Bucky since you're the next closest and
All right.
Yeah.
Well, 4 of us, seems like this one's mine. So I'll run to the closest one, pull up my electro sword, and make an attack with it.
Turn it on.
Bonus
first.
is 0. What was that?
What? Turn it on first.
Oh. Of course I'm turning it on, Tennessee. I know how to use my gadgets.
God.
Well,
You do not.
rolled a 4. And it says no bonus here for the attack. So I'm assuming that
because it'd be a strength weapon.
I'm sorry, you know how to do what with your weapon?
Actually,
it's
hold
on.
a
I just missed. Okay.
Actually, hold on a second. Let me make sure that I didn't screw up your character sheet. Because you should have your bonus to hit added to it.
My base mod for strength is 0, but it is a prime ability.
Right. No,
So
but it's not that. I think. Hold on. Let me double check because I think I goofed when I did your character sheet and filled out the weapon section.
Yeah, because I have 5.
I'm sorry. Yeah, it should still be. Where's your beauty? It should be a +1.
Woo! All right. Well, I think that's and then so it's
We're
still missed.
saved.
So what was your total number?
5 to hit.
You rolled a 4.
4.
He rolled a 4.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, that's not going to do it.
I think not.
All right. Let's go with Tennessee since you're waving fire around.
Well, you didn't say whether it did anything to them or not, so I don't.
Well, I mean, the thing's lit, but you haven't. The thing's just getting close. Was just getting close to you, so.
I was waving around in its face or whatever was closest to me, so I didn't know.
It isn't like running in fear of it, but it's definitely wary of it.
Okay, that's good enough for me. I see that, and I see her with her dagger stabbing one, and it kind of made it stop and go ow for a second. So I'm gonna reach into my coat and I'm gonna pull out one of my tomahawks, and I'm just gonna sling it sideways, not edge first. I'm just gonna flat end it, flat blade it.
All right,
and see if that does anything, and at the same time, shove the flame where the blade goes through.
Okay.
So that would be dex. Roll with my dex, or you want me to roll with strength?
Roll 20 side die. Add your bonus to hit. Actually,
weapon finesse, I can use dexterity instead of strength in melees with light weapons. And
yes, yeah.
You don't get any lighter than fire.
I think I might have added, something. I don't know if I added that into your. Yeah, I might not have realized that when I put your sheet together. So, it should be your dex bonus. Your dex bonus plus your BTH.
Okay, so please don't suck. That's an 11 plus 5 to hit.
That's gonna hit.
And my dex bonus is +3, so 19. Damage. So my tomahawk. I'm confused. 1d6 and a bonus of +8 to hit, or +8 for damage. Wait, huh?
Hold on.
Says weapon gap tomahawks bonus +8 damage 1d6. Is the bonus for the damage or is the bonus?
It probably includes any of the things that need to go into it. Remember, these are pre-gens. I'm not entirely sure. I just copied the
I
information.
have a
that it had.
bonus on my damage in addition to the bonus category. So bonus.
Yeah, because yours, you have part of yours. Well, part of yours is it's yours for the electro sword. Talks about the fact that I think it's like 1d8 for the sword itself, and then 1d8 plus 5 for the electro part.
So I see the +5 on the damage portion, and then I have a +1 in the bonus portion. So I think
Okay,
bonus
so that
is just
means
under to hit.
my tomahawks had a +8 on top of all that, so that would have been like a 27 to hit. But anyway, 1d6. I'm breaking out my monsters of the week d6 because they kick ass. That's a 5. Damn.
All right. The weapon goes through it, and again, the weapon doesn't. I mean, it has an effect. It definitely. You note that part of it becomes kind of additionally hazy there. After you hit it, you do feel some resistance to it. So you think that you've done some damage. The fire that you follow it up with definitely furthers the effect. Again, it doesn't. It's not a crazy amount, but you know that the fire has helped a little at least.
Okay. So I'm gonna try to. I'm just gonna tell the groups like, hit them as hard as you can and as often as you can. It seems to be damaging them one way or the other. They're not impervious.
All right, Maddie.
I'm going to look at the one coming towards me and in a firm voice tell it to flee. And a 23 succeeds on my 21 CC, so it gets to make a charisma save or it's going to flee for 1 round.
Okay, what's the CC for? What was the CC for it?
21.
All right. Okay. The shadow, instead of fleeing, just suddenly dissipates. It stops short. It like kind of recoils from you, and then just.
Well, that seemed to be effective, Maddie.
Bucky under his breath goes, "Wow."
All right. So let's go with the attacks for the shadows. First one on Marie. Yeah, and the shadow that worked about as well as the last one did. The one on Bucky.
Speaking of free action, do I have to wait for my turn?
Is what a free action?
Speaking.
Speaking is free action.
I'm gonna kind of suggest to the group that we band around Maddie, since she seems to have the most effect. And so if anything gets close to her, we can swipe at it with our weapons while she continues throwing fleas on them.
Get close to Maddie. Got
it. So on Bucky, AC 16.
That is exactly my AC.
All right. Well, if it meets,
wait, isn't he blessed?
+1 to hit. That's not. It doesn't.
Oh, I didn't know if it added protection to his armor class.
However, it is going to affect this next part. So first of all, you are going to take. Where the hell did all my D4s go? There we go. You are going to take 4 points of damage. And let me see. Oh, wait. And you're feeling a little bit weaker. You feel like it's kind of a little bit of your strength has disappeared. It has a very chilling effect on you. Just your muscles kind of like,
They sapped my strength.
You're currently missing a 1 point of strength. 1 point of strength at the moment.
Great. Because I wasn't, because I was hitting so hard with that electro sword already.
Yeah, it felt the buzz and said, nope. We got to do something about this.
I look over at him. I go, "Welcome to the big leagues, kid. Keep your guard up."
And Tennessee, that's kind of sitting on its side, and one would not have hit, one would have, so we'll do it again. Yeah, that's AC 18.
Yep. If the bless doesn't help.
You're 3 points of damage, and you also feel some of your strength leave you. As a touch almost feels like a touch from beyond the grave, just chills you. All right, Katie, you're riding the hot hand here. Keep rolling.
All right. Let's hope it continues. 7.
Yeah, Adventure Guide rolled a 1.
Keep using that die.
Well, I'm going to take a note out of Maddie's book, and I am going to look at the one that is closest to me and also yell, "Flee," and try and command it to disappear.
All right.
All right. Oh, no, that's probably. Let's see. 6 plus 3. I don't think it's enough. I only got a 14 on the CC.
Yeah, that is not quite going to do it. The shadow hears the words and kind of pauses for a moment and is like, no.
So I think, just to make sure I'm doing this correctly, when I fail a check, I can't cast it again for 24 hours and I suffer temporary damage, 1d4 per level of the spell. So 1d4 because it's just a first level spell. So I take 2 damage after that. So you see Marie, after she yells "flee," just sort of like recoil a little bit and like shake it off, like clearly backfired and hurt her in some way.
Magic in the modern world, not a good combination. All right. In that case, let's go to Bucky.
All right. Well, seeing as how that last hit hurt pretty hard, I'm going to go ahead and throw on my refractive cloaking filter. So I don't know if that's going to take a whole action, but it lasts.
I'm going to call that a free action. I can't see that being.
All right. So it lasts for 7 rounds.
Okay.
And then needs a 1 hour recharge, and it's going to grant me a +2 to AC and +2 to stealth-based checks, and I can add my level 2 dex checks to hide and move silently. So, given that this strategy hasn't worked so hot, I'm going to try and hide and then sneak up on one of the remaining shadows. So a dex check, I'm assuming, for stealth.
You do have a shadow like right in front of you. I don't know how well you're going to be able to hide.
Okay, fine. I hide in the shadow. But I'll just take the AC bonus then. I'll make an attack against it if it doesn't seem like there's a good place to hide nearby. That ought to do it. 19. I assume I lose my +1, but I get a +1 from the thing, so 20 total.
Yeah.
Okay. Yep. No, that's going to hit for sure.
All right. Cool. Now we can. I'll show you how it's done, Tennessee.
The sword finally lights up.
Yeah. Smack the thing a couple times and it flickers on. And I'm gonna do 11 plus 5 damage.
16.
Yeah, which 13 of which is electrical. No, 17. Wait, no.
All right.
5.
Yeah. Your sword cuts through it, and actually, Maddie, you get a good look at this because right now you've got basically clear line of sight to pretty much everything. You see this, you hear almost a hum as the sword cuts through the shadow. Kind of the sword kind of like sparks as it goes through, and just basically bisects the shadow, and it just poofs out of existence.
That's pretty shocking, kid. Good job.
Thanks, Tennessee. Big leagues, got it.
All right, Tennessee.
I'm just gonna keep swinging with my dagger and fire. I don't
All
really
right.
have much else to fight with, other than my good looks and rapier whip. Like I said, tomahawk.
You're really sharp tonight.
Don't
And
forget
that's
the +1
another,
to hit.
That's another 11, so plus 12, plus 5, 17.
Yep,
plus
you got it.
3.
Yeah, the AC of these things is not
and
that
the
all
plus
that high.
and the plus 8 and the plus 8 for the tomahawk. So I'm hitting them good and solid as I swish through them. Oh, damage. D6 again. And that's a total of 3. Yeah. I'm hitting
All
them
right.
hard with a limp biscuit.
All right. Yeah, yours is still there. It's slightly less. I mean, it was never fully incorporeal, but it kind of seems to have like dissipated a little bit. But it's still there.
And I'm swearing
Maddie.
at it in both German, French, Arabic, Spanish, Russian, and Gaelic.
Maddie.
I look at the one attacking Marie and command it to flee. And that goes off with a 22. So CC 21 charisma save.
All right. That one. Yeah. No. It really does not like you at all, and it just goes off.
Thanks. I'm gonna just turn around. Thanks, Maddie.
All right.
3 down,
so
1 to go.
I loosened that one up for you.
yeah, the only one left is the one on Tennessee, so it's going to attack him. That's going to hit. 2 points of damage and loss of another point of strength.
Jeez.
All right, Katie.
Good thing I'm fighting with dex instead of strength.
Ooh, only a 3 this time.
Yes, I finally got a 9 when I only had 1 left. Life is grand. All right. And then I roll a 5 on the attack. So yeah.
Don't worry, y'all, I can come back as Steve.
Tennessee just like waves out of the way as the thing swings at it. Tennessee, you're up because you're up close and personal with the thing.
I guess swearing at it's probably not going to hurt its feelings any. So, one more swing. I'm really getting tired of this thing. 3 11s in a row.
Well, I mean, you hit it.
It
So
hits every time.
But, so, all right. So I hit it. Let me use the other dice. Maybe it's warmed up. Okay, that just fell all the way out of the doom tree. Try that again. That's a 5. Yay. 5 points of damage.
all right. Yeah, between that and the fire, the previous hits and the fire, the shadow dissipates and you find yourselves in a now once again quiet occult shop. There's the slightest of humming from the sword as well as possibly the lights. and the smell of the map burning in Tennessee's hands.
I'm gonna power down the sword to get rid of at least the buzzing sound.
Mhm.
And turn to Marie and go, "What the heck happened back there? Did you guys do some voodoo magic and summon those shadows, or what happened?"
Uh, no, Angela is back there. She's in some sort of trance right now. I think she was attacked by Dr. Serpent, who you haven't met yet, Bucky, but we've come across before, and he's the leader of a different group. Isn't that right, Robert? The Order of the Black Dragon.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can I go back to that area and like the desk where you said they all sort of, I saw them like originate out of? Is there anything there, like an object or something that seems like that was the item or the thing that Angela was pointing to?
Yeah, you can take a look. Hold on a second. Yeah. Yeah, you can certainly check the desk. Yeah, you note that Angela is lying there. She's her face is kind of just still has a somewhat peaceful look, but she doesn't look well at all, and you note that her breathing is extremely shallow. Um, and it's not clear exactly how far gone she is.
Okay.
Is there an incense burner on the desk? Given this is a shop, there's probably incense.
Actually, yes, there is an incense burner on the desk, and now that you mention it, the smell, one of the smells that you had, you didn't think much of it when you came in, but you note that the smell of the incense is particularly powerful in here.
So is there anything on the desk, Robert? Like any items? Like, is there anything that seems like?
So what I'd like you to do is I'd like you to make a wisdom check. You're going to no, not actually. What wouldn't be you, Maddie? If you're going to be in the area, I want you to make a cat and mouse check. You're basically going to case the scene.
There's no information for that ability.
It's a wisdom check. It's going to be a CC 19.
Actually made that one with a 20.
There you go. So you find yourself looking through a sheaf of mostly indecipherable notes. It's pretty clear that this looks like it was Angela's handwriting, mostly because of the fact that it still looks somewhat fresh, and some of it just makes absolutely zero sense. You get the feeling that she had already basically self-medicated when she started writing these things. There's clear references to a cult dedicated to a deity named Yig, Y-I-G. The rise of the serpent god, something about a human sacrifice, and notes to check the occult collection at the New Orleans Public Library. And there you see some other references that make it pretty clear that the Order of the Black Dragon is involved.
Is there anything nearby that could have caused the puncture wounds on her arm?
Yeah,
there was a needle, but something seemed off about the puncture wounds. It looked like a snake bite or something weird.
No, actually, it definitely, some of them are fresh. One is fresher than the others, and yeah, she obviously did something to herself just recently.
Robert, can
and
I do a?
sure.
Go ahead. Sorry.
Go ahead. No, I was just gonna say no. Maria is able to tell you that she is known to take things when she's having her visions because of just how painful they are. She can't deal with them straight up. It's her power. She doesn't have complete control over those particular powers.
Got it.
So
I
do we find anything else on the desk that may be anything else that may be related?
No. Actually, that is about it.
can
Oh, I
can I
can't read the
roll a
notes.
can I roll a check to see if the name Yig rings any bells from my lore history, or look
I
through
have-
more of her notes to see if I can decipher more of what she's saying? Because crypto linguist says I can translate unfamiliar texts. Maybe I can make some kind of sense
Yeah.
out
Go
of
go
what
ahead and
she
make
was trying
a
to
go
write.
ahead and make a legend lore check.
What is that? Just a 20? And my
Yeah, 20
int
sided die,
or wisdom?
and I think it should say which of your skills it uses.
Oh, int. Yeah, it does. Okay. All right. That is a prime. So finally, not an 11. That is a 19. And it's a prime
19.
plus 2. So 21.
Uh, yeah. I mean, you recall something about it being, um, dark. The things that almost sound like the stuff of dark legends. Primordial powers. Things. There's you recall something about cult activities back in pre-revolutionary times. Some possibly something that uh, the natives worshipped. It's all really not clear in your mind, but it's the kind of thing where when you hear the reference to Yig and you think about it, you start to have it, to put it, to go with it, you have a really, really bad feeling about this.
So I wouldn't have any.
I hand him the notes and say, "Do this outside," and start pushing him out the back.
Well, that's rude.
I'm going to go get a cop to get her some medical attention. And if we're all standing around in here, they're going to start questioning us. And if this is as bad as it sounds, we don't want to get slowed down.
Good thinking as always, Maddie.
I go out the back door, but I'm still meanwhile muttering, worse than a daggone wife. Nag, 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 nag. This is why I stay single and good looking.
Oh boy. All right, yeah, no, you all head out the back door, and Maddie, you're able to flag down a cop and explain the situation, and with some smooth talking, you're able to really quickly wrangle yourself out of the situation as well, so they don't end up taking too much of your time, and soon enough, that you hear that there's a call for an ambulance to get her to the hospital as soon as possible, and you're able to free yourself so that you can meet up with the rest.
I lock the place up, make sure the keys are on her when she goes so she can get back in.
Okay, excellent.
Well, do we have any leads we can try and follow, perhaps? Did you read anything on that notepad there, Maddie?
I gave you guys all the paperwork.
That's
So while I was dealing with the police, you guys could be going through it and tracking things down.
So there's something about looking at the occult in the public library. I think that might be our next stop.
Yeah, this Yig fella, he's kind of well known for his occult powers and wanting more and stuff. So this can't bode really well if she's following this kind of a lead.
Robert, question. When we had that initial call from Maggie, other than checking on Angela, did she give us any specific direction that like she wants us to do other than investigating whatever Angela was investigating?
Whatever, find out what you can and please try to put a stop to it.
Mm-hmm. I think it's best that we follow up then with Angela's notes. Like if that was her next step, then we should try and carry it out in place of her.
Yeah, they were clearly not liking whatever she was poking into. So I think that's got to be where we go next.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So
I'm gonna ask Marie. Does she know what's her name well enough to understand why she might have been even looking into this kind of activity? Is this something she normally does?
I think that, sometimes it's a little bit of a gray line when you're dealing with the forces that we deal in, and perhaps she just crossed a little bit too far onto the wrong side. And it sounds like she was a member of our group too, Robert?
No, not so much a member. Because of the fact that she does what she does, occasional resource, perhaps. Known more to Mackie than to any of you directly. So it's the kind of thing where possible leads occasionally, but that's about it.
You did say she had visions, so she may have had a vision about something related and started doing research.
Right. Yeah, I think probably she just she dabbled a little bit too close, and sounds like she started to unravel that and didn't realize how messy it was going to be and how evil it could be. But hopefully we can figure it out without falling to the same fate as her.
I'll say our next step's probably to meet up with Maggie and see where she wants us to go from here.
So Mackie is actually overseas, so you're kind of, basically you're free to
get in touch with Mackie, I guess. I don't know.
That might not be easy. Remember, it is 1939, and
Bucky's got an electro sword. Can't he just hook it up to a telephone? And
listen, it's science, not magic. That's her thing, okay?
Telephone calls are magic or science.
I think based on the fact that she called us to investigate this, I think she probably just wants us to handle it until we have more precise information. Because right now, I think we could potentially follow up on some of these things that Angela was looking into, see if there's any more insight into Yig and maybe Dr. Serpent and how they're connected.
Well, do you guys know anything about the Serpent God? I know you mentioned the Black Dragon, but is the Serpent God something you're familiar with?
I think Yig is potentially the Serpent God.
Ooh.
Well, based on what we know, which is pretty much nothing, what's our best next step to
Well, it looked like
where do we need to go from here?
It looks like Angela's notes said here that she was planning on checking the occult section at the New Orleans Public Library. So I wonder if maybe we go do that, since that was her next step.
Do public libraries really have an occult section?
In New Orleans, they do.
In fairness,
in 1939, it sounds kind of weird. Let's just go to the occult section.
And again,
that's where I do all my best reading, Tennessee.
That's the Voodoo's R Us. There's a store down.
And again, this is New Orleans, so
yeah, that's true. Nolans is good.
All right, so you head to the library.
I think.
Are we? Yeah. How far is the library? Are we walking? Are we driving? Getting a cab?
We're just going to get you to the library.
Okay.
We're going to make that part easy for you.
Thanks for paying
call-
for the cab, Tennessee. Appreciate that.
Yeah, we call an Uber known as a horse and carriage.
Oh boy. So you find yourself at the library, in said occult section and start looking into this. And I'm going to have you make a series of wisdom checks. Who would like to go first?
That ain't me. I'm more of
I'll
a
check
fist kind of a
first.
person.
All right.
Hit first, think later.
Go ahead,
And I
Marie.
do have, just to note too, Robert, I do have that spellcraft that if I have a successful check, I can identify supernatural phenomenon, knowledge about matters related to occult or arcana.
Okay.
So I think it's like a skill or a feat or something like that. Oh, well, not with that. I rolled a 2, so I'm sure there's no bonuses that give me enough to get that a successful check.
Okay. Yeah, you've been searching for a bit and having issues finding what you need. Apparently this is rare material here. Let's see. Maddie, why don't you go next?
How long does my strength thing last?
You're not there yet. It's going to be.
Okay.
Go ahead, Maddie.
I have a 10.
Okay. You don't find direct information, but you do manage to finally find a potential lead as far as where realize that you might be looking at the wrong stuff. Bucky, your turn.
All right. I would say all this magic stuff is French to me, but I do speak French, so. But at the same time, I gotta roll an 18.
You rolled an 18?
+1, no prime.
All right, but you managed to find the first piece of information. First piece of information about this. It's come after some time, and you do find stuff to suggest that this was related to a occult. Not even one particular Native American tribe, but some information around the time of the conquistadors. Just subsections banding together, trying to find something to turn drive out the Spanish invaders, and getting desperate in their attempts and looking to call upon even darker powers. As you're reading the passage aloud, everybody, all the hairs on the backs of your necks start to stand up, and gets just really something about it just makes you feel a little pit in your stomach as you're reading. Tennessee,
Yes.
your turn.
To do what?
Wisdom check.
Oh. Darn it. Well, I don't have bad wisdom, but it's not a prime, so. 5 +2, that's 7.
Wow, you all are terrible at wisdom checks.
And I'm like, hey, did y'all see the pictures in this book? Hey, that's a double-edged sword, but they didn't have swords back then. That's weird.
Tennessee's sitting there with like 6 books. It's got to be in one of these. It's got to be in one of these. It's somewhere in here.
Actually, at this point, I think Tennessee's just looking at the naked native women drawings and stuff.
Marie, time for another
Yeah.
wisdom check.
All right. Maybe this one will be better. Let's see. Oh, that's a nat 20.
Oh.
It just took me a while. I was going to the back of the section, the dusty books that get you all the good stuff.
Yeah, you find more information, and apparently, the things really start to get even more grim. Yeah, it was a terrible situation as it was, but the those that tried to stand against the invading forces, slowly became the monsters they tried to fight. You find descriptions of a great battle somewhere in the bayou, early 1600s. And it sounds like there were worshippers from several tribes that made up this cult. It sounds like they started to be successful in drawing these powers forth, and as you relay the information, you have this feeling of being watched. It's starting to get kind of uncomfortable just going through this. It's the more that you read, the worse of a feeling that you get.
Can I do another lore check? Because if we're getting a little more specific, does that trigger anything in his
Yeah, go ahead and
memories?
do lore check for me.
Which was int. Come on, Rock. Nope. That's all I'm gonna say. Nope, doesn't trigger anything. I hate dice.
Put that one in jail.
It wasn't a 1, but
So just to clarify, so more basically history about like the origin of this the Serpent group.
Yes.
At least in this area.
What'd you say, Maddie?
At least in this area.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And it sounds like they've been around for a very long time, if it was, 300 years ago. Is it something where, like you said, they ended up becoming the monsters that they were fighting? So is there any sort of resolution, like what happened to them after this battle? Did they just go in hiding, or have they been around that whole time? Is there
and
anything
what
about
kind of
that?
powers were they drawing on
Well, give me that legend lore check.
again?
I didn't. If you rolled it, I didn't hear what your roll was.
I said I'm not. It was not a 1.
Roll it again.
Always
Roll again. I'm changing to the darker sided dice. Maybe the dark side is nice. Oh hell yeah! Okay, there's a 16, and int is my prime, so that's +2, so that's 18.
Yeah, you start thinking more and more on what you're reading, and you suddenly realize that you have a much better idea of where to look. You manage to go through the books that you had pulled down, and find mentions of references to the exact location of the battle. Supposedly it said that there's still some ruins of the cult there. It's deep in the bayou, several hours drive to the south. You're also seeing passages that suggest that at a certain time with the human sacrifice, the god can be summoned to possess a priest, giving them the power to spread Yig's influence across the world.
Okay, so we actually did find references to the word Yig, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Specific dates are unclear, but there are references to the blood moon during the moon of purification. Tennessee and Marie, you both know that February is derived from the ancient Latin februm, meaning purification. And after a ritual called Februa that is held during the full moon in the second month of the year, this eventually led to the adoption of the name, Februarium for the month. And since tonight is the first night of the full moon, which is also a blood moon, that is supposed to last for 3 nights.
Okay. The group's going to see Tennessee start to act weird as he looks at one book and goes like, wait a minute, and starts going from book to book to book. He's like gathering them all up, and he's like lining them up in a row, going like, okay, this group and this group are part of this group, and they joined pieces with this group, and they did this thing in February, and it needs a blood moon, and February's wait. And this happened down. This ain't far from us, guys. We need to go. We need to
Okay.
go. We're running out of time.
Now, as that happens, while the rest of you are searching, while you've all been searching and this is going on, there have been people wandering the library. It's a public library. It's even in the occult section, you get a couple of people just wandering here and there, looking, hey, see what they can see, find what they can find. Half of them teenagers trying to scare each other off. You suddenly, Maddie, as you're looking up from the books that you've been scanning through, you suddenly realize that a person has walked up to the table directly across from you and sat down. And for whatever reason, the person's face is completely shadowed under the hat they're wearing as well as the trench coat. But you would swear that the person is, from beneath the brim of their large hat, is glaring at you. Do me a favor and give me a intelligence check.
Oh, look at that look of fear on her face.
18, and that's a prime, so that'll be a 25.
Wow.
You trying to get a peek, and you have the impression of an actual serpent's face hiding under the hat. And as your realization of who is sitting directly across from you in this, again, somewhat crowded public library, you realize that it is none other than Dr. Serpent. And he says, "Give it up. I've enjoyed the interplay of our two organizations over the decades, but you can't win this. If you leave New Orleans now, you may survive to face us another day."
I look him dead in the eye.
Hold on. Of course,
he's
by then,
monologuing. Wait.
He's not done monologuing. Let him go.
of course, by then, I'll be a god. But if you stay, I promise you will burn.
Don't get all choked up about it, Robert. It's just a game.
So I look him dead in the eye.
Mm-hmm.
And I rolled a nat 20. So make your DC 27 con save.
Huh. Interesting. I want to bear some. I need you to bear something in mind before. And I only say this because I know why you want to do this, and I know what you're doing here. But you do really need to realize that you're going to be doing this in full view of in a public place, and suddenly that's going to mean everyone is going to know what you are and that what you've done, and they're going to know nothing else. I'll leave that up to you. But bear that in mind.
You can get stoned with your friends later.
If you still want to do that.
Do it.
Roll a percentile, 50% and higher, do it. 50%
Okay,
lower.
so here's what we're going to do. While Maddie decides to do whether or not to do what they're about to do,
He
We are
feels
going to
intended-
take our one and only break. Thank you. First of all, thank you to the Mad Chatters. Thank you for Troller Games for coming on in and the raid. I hope everyone is enjoying our little jaunt into New Orleans and the occult and all the fun and scary things contained within. Again, we are going to take our break, and we will be back. Let's call it 10 minutes, just so everyone gets a chance to stretch. And mics will remain live during that time. So we'll be right back. That could not have worked any better of a cliffhanger if I tried.
That was pretty ideal.
It hurts not to use that 20 because
I know.
That was
I
a
know.
20.
that ability only goes off on a 19 or 20.
I
Yeah.
love it.
Eddie boy, yes, we do know the mic's live. We leave the mics live during our be right backs so that we can talk with the chat and the chat can talk to us. People may or may not be at their at seats because we do get up to take a break as well.
So am I the only one who finds it surprisingly unsurprising that the person that causes the most chaos in Friday Night Crusades is cheering her husband on to cause chaos?
Unsurprising. Completely.
Yeah. Surprisingly unsurprising. That Amanda's going, do it, touch it. No, Amanda, I will not.
She's not the only one, though.
If I had a gold coin for every time my character's told Toot Toot, Toot Toot, don't touch. Never mind.
I support the chaos. I think you should do it, Mike.
Yeah, but that'd be the end of the adventure really, really
I'm sure
necessarily,
Robert can improvise. Robert can improvise. They have a backup. They wouldn't put all of their eggs in one basket.
I think
Robert's probably
trying to let you know is that
I can't lie. I mean, because the adventure is what the adventure is. They do point out the consequences of the characters moving against Dr. Serpent right here.
I was going to say, I'm pretty sure, even though with your nat 20, Dr. Serpent's probably a little more powerful than that.
Well, it's
probably not against what he wants to do.
Yeah, no, the ability that there is considerable. It's one of those things where he basically Maddie has to roll a 19 or a 20 for it to even work.
Well, I'm all for an early night.
I'm sure there's things built in, like, even if the characters choose to fight Dr. Serpent here, how does that change versus the ritual itself?
Yeah, I think I'm underplaying my character because, of according to his description, is spirit of the rogue, heart of a hero, and the ethics of a pure historian. He is cynical, wisecracking, cocky, overconfident, uncouth, and arrogant. And I'm like, I'm not playing this guy right at all. I need to bump my game a little bit. I've only teased Bucky once.
You're easing your way into it.
Oh no, this is totally me. I'm just a little too worried about offending people, I guess. Because I'm an ex-sailor and a truck driver. I can get arrogant and uncouth.
Well, I think everybody to a certain extent is typecasted or playing their people pretty well.
I'll go good.
You're John's an actual engineer, so playing a gadgeteer is
Second nature.
a far stretch.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't you want a real electro sword? Come on.
That would be awesome if that was a thing.
I have a lightsaber.
Yeah,
Yeah, pretty much.
that's true.
Although
No, I have a lightsaber. Actually, I have two of them.
Nice.
All right, we are going to go back live.
That was a fast 10 minutes.
You want
Well,
this?
I mean, everyone's back at their seats, so.
She wants.
All right, so yeah, we are back live. So just to recap, our party of intrepid adventurers are members of a secret society, the Brotherhood of William St. John. They are an organization, dedicated to rooting out and stopping other evil organizations. Specifically, they're one of their nemesis, the Order of the Black Dragon, led by Dr. Serpent. They had received a phone call from the leader of the organization, who had directed them to an acquaintance by the name of Angela Ducharme, who runs an occult shop in the city of New Orleans, where the party was for Mardi Gras. And on their way there, as they got there, they found Angela basically in a drug-induced fog. She has been known to self-medicate because she does have occult powers, but they are so painful that she needs to drown out the pain. Where they were attacked by shadows that they managed to overcome, they managed to get Angela put into an ambulance and made their way to the New Orleans Public Library to gather more information based on notes that Angela had left behind for them. While they started gathering information on the serpent god Yig, Maddie, one of the members of the party, found none other than Dr. Serpent sitting across from her, basically telling them to get out of New Orleans before the day is over, or they were going to burn. Also, the fact that he was going to be ascending to godhood this evening, but, it seems a minor detail in the scheme of things. Maddie was trying to decide whether she was going to unleash a particular power when we went to break. So, Maddie, what have you decided?
Release the hounds.
You were allowed to leave because of the innocents that surround us. I'd suggest you take advantage of it.
Yes. Good. Now just remember, you want to leave the city. You want to leave Louisiana. Just get out. And he gets up and starts walking away. Right about that time,
I scream, "Stop thief," and point at him.
well, right about that time, you start to scream, "Stop and you hear the sound of somebody convulsing nearby. Just the sound of like gasping and choking sounds, and it's followed by another down a different in a different area, and then a third. I need you to all roll wisdom checks for me.
Stop picking on me. Not as bad.
15 for me.
15?
I have an
Also
8.
15.
All right.
Yeah. I rolled a 10.
Bucky and Marie, you catch the slightest whiff of something in the air, and you realize that there's the smell of poison gas starting to fill the library. You peek up and you note that it seems to be rising from some of the racks of books, like in very specific places, which you seem to note is where the choking is coming from. But you also look up and you start to see green gas coming through the air vents.
We need to get everybody out of here. There's poison coming in. Tennessee, why don't you do what you do best and light something on fire?
I got it covered. Don't worry. Tennessee hops up on a bookshelf and just starts screaming at the top of his lungs, "Fire! Fire! Everybody out! Fire! Get out now!" And he starts pointing to the wisps of smoke like things so people will see and hope that they think that it's actual smoke.
Okay.
Do I need to roll like an idiot check or something?
Actually, roll a charisma check for me.
Yeehaw. Oh, now that I roll a 20 on. Yay.
Oh, yeah, no, you are convincing
I'm not
as
smart,
all hell.
But I'm charming.
Mass panic ensues. And people start running all over the place, knocking into each other. The gas is starting to get a bit the mist, the yellow mist is starting to fill the air. It's getting a bit thicker. More people are falling to the ground. And I need you to all roll a constitution check for me.
Constitution.
Oh no.
That's one of my worst
12
stats.
for me. It is prime.
A 6 non-prime.
I can't read that.
All right.
Oops, shit. I'm pretty sure it was a 9. And it's non-prime.
All of you, wait, you rolled a 12, a 9, a 6, and a 2?
Yeah.
Come back next week when the regular players.
When the second group gets a shot.
Now aren't you wishing? Aren't you wishing?
Robert, I'd like to use a hero point.
Actually, I was just about to ask, what are these fate points we have used for? Because we might need to use them.
Yeah, absolutely.
Some of your abilities, actually, some of you have abilities that take fate points into exam. I need to see if there's a fate point thing in here, because right about now,
you can use a fate
all
point to
pretty much
automatically
just
succeed saving throw, I believe, if you need to.
Robert, look under save the campaign.
Oh my goodness.
I don't know if this matters, but I do have if the saving throw category is poison, I have an extra bonus for that.
Okay, yep, no, you will get you get your extra bonus for that.
Okay, so then technically I have a 19.
Um, can I use my one per session ability on the fly gadgets and whip up some gas masks using the materials around us in the library?
A gas mask. Wow.
Like cut up some
I mean,
fabric.
you'll be well. Okay. I'm gonna let you do that in lieu of your saving throw.
Okay.
Basically,
All
you're
right.
gonna get one shot. You're going to get one shot at this.
Yeah, well, it's a high check too. So
I mean, if we're gonna go with pull things out of our butt rolls, can I do a light some books on fire to see if the smoke overcomes the poison gas?
Well, that's not how science works.
When a party's going down, and decides to burn everything with it.
Hey,
I was just
going
gonna
out in a blaze of glory, right? Die
I was just
young,
gonna
leave
open the window.
a good-looking charred corpse.
Yeah, right. Open the window. Yeah.
The gas is lighter than air, otherwise it wouldn't be drifting down, it'd be going from the bottom up. So you open a window, the gas will go out and up.
So the CC, the challenge I have to overcome is a 19, and I
Uh-huh.
rolled a 17. But it's my bonus. I have to add my level because of prime ability, so I get 5 plus intelligence, which is 3. So I succeeded in whipping together some gas masks. I'm going to use the.
All right. Well, no, you're
book
able to
covers.
you're able to whip together a gas mask.
Oh no, a
Just
gas
you.
mask.
Just you.
Okay.
Now,
All
my,
right.
my theory
most-
is that smoke rises and it's pushing the gas, which is lighter, up away from us.
You somehow
As long as
managed.
we hit-
You
as long
somehow
as we
managed
hit the
to
floor.
origami your way into a. We're going to call it a KN 1939 mask.
All right. Cool.
Your eyes are burning. Your compatriots are slumped over. You can feel burning in your lungs, and you know that you're all well. The rest of you don't know anything because you're all out. You know that you're in serious trouble.
Did that, Robert? I don't know if you heard me, and I said that I don't know if it's specifically poison, but then that would bring my check to a 19 out of 12.
All right. Yeah, I'm going to have that. I'm going to adjust the thing so that you're that'll be enough to last you another round. You're still going to in lieu
It
of-
specifically says disease, energy drain, and poison.
All right, let's see. Poison.
My character sheet says since I'm the best looking in the group, I'm immune to dying.
You're going to take 6 points of damage. As you can feel your eyes and your throat are burning. You see Bucky suddenly sitting there with this folded paper contraption covering his face.
And we see Tennessee
Little
and
slits.
Maddie slumped over.
Yep.
Okay. Well, let's try and
I
get him
do
out of
not
here, I guess.
slump.
Yeah, can we carry him?
You go for Maddie, I'll go for Tennessee.
Sure.
So do we think we have time to like try and hoist them and get them out of the building from gas range?
Yeah, I'm going to let you drag them out of the building. Desperate times
Otherwise,
call
our
for
second
desperate
break.
measures. We're not going to roll that one because otherwise that'd be the end.
Wait, now wait, hang on a second. Hang on. Before all this happens, I yelled fire and you said mass chaos ensued, which implies that there are other people in this. Why aren't some other people helping to carry people out? Why wouldn't they say, come help us, our friends are unconscious, and this way they can drag us out? I mean, it's a legitimate thing to do. I mean, you're saying there's a lot of people in here running for their lives.
Yeah, he said
I'd like to point out that they ran away from the person who was yelling fire.
I'm sure the librarians were still there.
Yeah,
Dobby wouldn't have let me die.
Yeah, you managed to drag them out. As a matter of fact,
getting my
the
strength
two of
back.
you that had failed your check completely also take 6 points of damage.
Jesus.
As Bucky's
20.
dragging Tennessee, he's like, he wasn't kidding about the big leagues. Oh my gosh, this guy.
And you find
Archaeology.
yourself outside coughing, trying to, get some air. Dr. Serpent is nowhere to be seen. He's just missing, gone.
Did we see anyone else passed out in the library?
Oh yeah,
Push it
there's quite a few people passed out in the library.
I guess until I start to feel any other effects, I'm going to try and drag some other people out.
Okay. You are able to get a few out. Soon you're joined by volunteers from one of the local civil service groups that have managed to locate some look like World War One era gas masks and get some. A number of the people that they've been pulling out are gone. They're just the amount of poison and the number of people in there just were overcome. It looks terrible. They've got the strangled, gasping for air, and their eyes are like bloodshot from the burning. It's a really bad scene at the steps of the library.
Are our companions still passed out, or do they start to come to once they're like breathing real air?
It takes maybe a half hour or so before they start to come back. The good
Drag
news
us into
is
the
your
alley
strength.
somewhere.
The good news is your the missing strength that you had is all back.
Yeah.
Feel great.
Yay!
Can't breathe, but I can pick up a beer.
Manda, I would point out this is a dark adventure. It is definitely, this adventure is definitely on the dark side. This is a starter adventure. You gotta love it. Yeah. Oh my goodness.
How are you guys feeling? Maddie, are you okay? Do you feel all
I
right?
feel attacked. I've never actually been tried to been killed before in a one shot.
Yeah, I mean, how
Well,
often do you get to meet the BBG, early in the adventure?
Yeah.
Or at the midway point, anyway.
Well,
And-
now it's personal.
Yeah.
Now we have to go after him.
Mm-hmm.
And for the record, Mike, when the rest of your party says, do it.
Kai Whimsy with the 5 gift subs. Thank you very, very much. Or yes.
I feel Robert railroaded us in that part there.
Well, no, I mean, again,
Robert's like, I had an hour and a half. Come on.
hey, listen, the stream normally goes until about 8:30 Eastern, so
I wasn't done monologuing.
Oh no, I had to get the monologue out. I mean, come on, you have to. If you're not going to let the what was the saying? You should let your DM, GM, whatever monologue their let go their BBG's monologue because they're saying goodbye to their character.
That'll learn you, Robert.
Is there any sort of form of like a short rest that we can take to get that I guess that essentially is happening while they're waking up, or while we travel. I mean, I guess I don't know how you guys are feeling after that or what you want to do, but I still want to go after and try and stop this potential ritual that Dr. Serpent was referring to.
Yeah. I don't want that guy to become a god.
Yeah, right.
Also, Tennessee, you said something about a human sacrifice. We have to try and stop that too if we can.
Yeah. Tennessee shakes his head and goes, son of a sheep shearer's daughter. What did somebody stomp on my tongue? What good Lord. What happened? All I remember was yelling fire, and that was it.
Yeah, you got you succumb to that poison gas. I'm gonna guess that Dr. Serpent had something to do with it, since it perfectly timed with him leaving the library.
Dr. Serpent? Wait, when did he show up?
He was watching us.
I noticed a strange looking guy when
Yeah.
Maddie pointed at
Maddie.
somebody and said, "Stop thief."
Yeah.
And
All right,
then
well, we're gonna
Marie
have to
said
work
that
on
was
our
Dr.
communication
Serpent. Was that
skills a
right,
little
Maddie?
better, but yeah, as far as a human sacrifice goes, if I recall correctly in them books, it's getting close to a time where they can make a human sacrifice within what month are we in, Robert? Are we in January or February?
You were in
Mardi Gras,
February.
Or February. Okay. So some and do I know how far away the red blood moon is?
It's tonight.
Night.
Oh,
Yeah, it's actually for like the next couple of nights.
How long was I out? Jesus.
Well, it technically lasts for 3 nights, and tonight is the first night.
Okay. And I'm gonna sit there and be like, well, basically we're running short of time. The blood moon lasts for 3 nights, and if they make a human sacrifice before it's over, they can pull a lot of power and turn Dr. Numbnut, Dr. Snakeface into a god. And there's not a whole lot we can do to stop them. So we've got until the blood moon ends to end this threat. We need to get down to the bayou because that's where it needs to happen. And if I recall correctly, there are some ancient ruins down there where they tried this crap once before. But we need to go. We need to get a car, truck, whatever. We need to head down there ASAP, or the world's just going to turn into a giant toilet.
Did you exchange words, Maddie, with or like hear anything specific?
Yeah, he said leave or else.
Of course.
Well, that was a short conversation.
Classic.
Yep.
That doesn't sound like
He
Dr.
went on-
Serpent. He's usually more eloquent.
Yeah, he was, but it came out to leave Louisiana or I'm going to burn you down.
Well, at
Well, I
least we
mean-
know he's still in Louisiana, so he needs to be here as much as we need to be here.
Tells me he's
Game
scared
on,
of us
people.
too.
It's game
Means
on.
we have a chance.
Does anybody got access to transportation? We need to go.
Yeah,
Well,
you have access. You do have access to a vehicle.
Then let's hit the road.
Bucky looks disappointed as he was about to try and make a bike out of some tires on the side of the road.
Listen, the gadgets on the fly thing has its limits.
Tennessee looks at Bucky and goes like, "You can press us with your driving skills, son. You take the first time on the wheel." Do I know how far we've got to go? How far away this bayou that they were talking about is at?
It is quite a few hours worth of driving.
Well, Louisiana ain't that big.
Yeah, but it's also 1939. Roads are questionable.
There's no
vehicles-
There's no
highways.
interstates.
There's no interstate highways.
Vehicles are top driving speed might be 50 miles an hour, maybe. I don't know that she tested.
How nice is our car?
And you're basically heading into the bayou.
There is no
towards
speed
the
limit in
swampy area.
1939, so let's go. Bucky, you drive first. The rest of y'all, if you need to rest up for your whatever it is you need to do to make things flee, rest up. I'll take the second driving shift. And Bucky, you rest up then, and I guess you and I can just keep switching driving unless these ladies want to try at it.
Sounds good.
All right.
What exactly are we driving? Like a Volkswagen, a Hearst, a
Not
Ghostbuster
19
mobile? What are we-
Oh, I'm not entirely sure
a
what you would be
delivery
driving,
wagon?
but probably a Ford.
1939, let's just call it a gangster mobile. Big fenders, seats 4 to 8 or 4 to 6, and goes about 80 miles an hour top.
There's about 10 bodies in the back.
Well, we empty that out for our supplies. Speaking of supplies, do we have time to try to get supplies? Does anybody need supplies, or are we pretty self-sufficient as this group? Game Master, AG, Adventure Guide.
I mean, you have your gear. I don't know what you'd want for supplies.
Well, I'm probably going to need more cigarettes.
Well,
Not,
these
not
rules,
that I smoke, but according to this, I got a pack of cigarettes somewhere. I don't know.
yeah, but these rules seem to ignore ammunition. So
Oh, magic guns. All right, I'm in. I got 2 tomahawks and 2 magic guns. Let's roll.
Yeah, it
These
doesn't
guns
mention
must
it
have
more.
been made in
And
Hollywood.
for the sake of for the sake of the one shot, I'm not going to worry about it. So yeah, let's just say you have enough ammunition.
I believe
Two
If you
bottles
need
in the
if you need
trunk.
to use
There's
more
10
ammunition,
boxes of
things have gone
ammo.
horribly wrong.
I believe these are the fast. This is the fast play version of the rules, so they cut out a lot of stuff.
All right, let's roll. Everybody pile
Sounds
into the
good.
car. Bucky, hammered down.
All right, you're
Metal.
driving. It as you're driving it, even though it's February, it's still again Louisiana, and you're heading into the bayou, and you're dealing with a number of things. One, insects splattering against the windshield. Uh, the air is you try to get some air. It's really really thick and heavy. Um, to the point where at one point it starts raining and visibility becomes terrible. Do me a favor, roll a dexterity check for me.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Who's rolling a dexterity
It's not a
check?
1.
It's a 2.
Okay, so what's a 2?
No
3.
comment. But it is a Dex is a prime ability, so yeah, it bumps it up to at least a 6. No, level 5, so 9 total.
All right, so Tennessee, you find out that you really need to start driving because Bucky, nearly drove you all into a ditch as he lost control. Apparently, gadgets may be his thing, but driving a car in bad conditions, not so much.
Son, pull the heck
Happy-
over.
Happy to
Pull
let you
over
take this
now.
shift, Tennessee. You got it.
I'll get in the front seat and I pray to God I don't have to roll a 1. That's why I haven't called you any names. Because it bites me the butt when I roll. All right, I take over. I floor it. Whomber. Now
All
keep
right.
in mind, do I get a bonus because I've been driving trucks for 30 years?
That's not how that works. That's not how any of this works. Yeah. So as you're driving, and there is another interlude that we're going to kind of do a cutout version of it because otherwise we would never get to the climax of the adventure. I do want you to give me a dexterity check.
Dex, my crappy. Oh no, wait, Dex is my biggest prime. Son. And that is, God, hang on, I need my glasses. I can't read these dice to save my life. Oh shit, that's an at 20.
Nice.
I thought it said 2. I was gonna get on
At
And
one
so
point,
driving
plus
experience
3.
actually worked.
at one point, the rain gets kind of bad, but you're able to navigate your way through it, and you're keeping the car on a road. When you suddenly spot something walking in the middle of the road, your first impression is that it is a person because it seems to be on 2 legs and walking. But as you swerve expertly out of the way and pass, you realize that the thing that's walking might have been alive at one point, but since it's missing half its face and one of its arms as it's walking about, not so much anymore.
See, Robert, that's where the 30 years of truck driving would have came in. I would not have swerved.
Yeah, I know. Don't stop. Run through it.
Well, no, you don't swerve. It's plain and simple. You don't swerve. But anyway, all right. So,
And you start to see more of this. Up ahead on the right, you notice
more of this.
Yeah, there's more figures wandering, not so much in the road, but along the side of the road.
Okay.
Some of them looked more complete corpses. Some of them are almost just down to skeletons.
I'm assuming since I
wandering
swerved and
somewhat
screamed, I don't
aimlessly.
have to tell the rest of the group what's going on.
No, the rest of you, at the swerve, your attention is drawn to what's going on. As you continue driving, you note on the right hand side of the road is what looks to be a roadhouse, an old bar that is on fire, and you can see that there are more of these undead zombies and such wandering around, as well as what look to be some pretty fresh corpses lying outside. People that have been slashed or gashed by God knows what. Some of them look like they may have been, chewed on. A couple that are still even convulsing before they just suddenly stop. And the building itself is almost completely ablaze right now.
Well, I think we're going the right direction, guys.
I put my comment in chat, Rob. You can read it if you want.
Oh boy. Yeah. So anyway,
I say that to Bucky, by the way.
Put seatbelt on, or I guess it's just a lap belt. It's 1939.
You're able to get navigate your way through it, and it isn't long after you get past the roadhouse that you seem to pass the last of them. And they all seem to be headed like in the opposite direction from you, as if they were coming from somewhere, and heading elsewhere.
Would it
So-
seem like they're all heading in the same direction or running away from something?
No, not so much running away, kind of just like walking
Shambling away, whatever.
like as
origin,
if they were
origin point.
like as if they
Right.
were sent. You get the weirdest feeling that this isn't random. They were sent.
So, but we don't feel like they're heading toward an event. They're heading
No.
away from the.
Correct.
Okay.
Mostly because they seem to be coming in the general direction. They seem to have been coming from the place that you're
Where
trying
we
to
want to
get
go.
to.
Okay.
Yeah, the
All
general
right.
direction you're trying to get to.
I'm gonna say that to the group as I'm driving. It's like, well, wherever they're coming from, that's where we need to go. Even the rats are leaving a sinking ship.
Soon enough, you realize you get to the point where, to get where you need to go, you're going to need to exit the vehicle and make your way through the swamp itself. And as you're walking, again, the air is very thick. The bugs are buzzing around, making life pretty miserable. It's hot and muggy, and it after a bit of the buzzing, you've been probably going an hour or so. The sun is just starting to, just really getting to the point of fully setting. It's getting dimmer, much dimmer. You hear the sound of drums and chanting. And it at the moment it's seeming to come from almost from everywhere as you're walking through the various trees and swamplands.
Can I, at some point on the car ride over, or when we get off and are walking, can I cast Cure Wounds on myself?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. I do have to do a check to make sure I don't.
You can fail
Harm
your heal
myself.
check and get
I
it.
can
I hate when I do that.
It's,
Right.
it's okay.
Kills.
I'm not near death. I'm good. It's okay. You can go ahead and kill yourself.
Are you near death?
No.
Oh, okay.
Thanks for asking, though.
That is nobody ever said I was the most generous person in this group.
And we weren't arguing with them. It's okay.
I did successfully cast it, so
All
1d8 is my healing.
She's a voodoo witch, not a cleric.
Oh gosh. All right, so I only heal.
Edmond, here's a band-aid. Put it on that wound. You'll be fine.
Yep. Only 2 hit points, but that helps.
Okay.
But
Feeling a little bit better.
yeah.
All right. Yeah. So, like I said, the drumming, it and chanting, it's kind of like filling up the swamp, and maybe it's because it's reverberating off the trees. You get it seems to come from all around.
You guys, maybe we should keep quiet now and sneak up on it.
Yeah.
So,
All right. Yeah. So
Tennessee just kind of looks at Bucky and goes like, "You see what we're driving, right?"
So eventually, you're walking for a bit further, just keeping heading in the direction that you need to be going in. And you come across a clearing of sorts. It looks to be a rather large sinkhole that appears to have formed a natural amphitheater deep in the heart of the swamp. It's really, really at odds with everything around it, but it's a semicircle half bowl going down a gentle hill. And you note that there's like oddly symmetrical stones set into the earth that appear to be seeds. At the bottom is flat clearing about 60 feet across. You see there's a crude stone altar worn smooth and rounded with centuries of age and the ravages of nature at the back. On either side, it's flanked by large braziers that are belching red fire and a pungent smelling odor from a drug-like incense burning within. Due to the fire, you're finding it impossible to see behind the altar. The night is like a curtain of black behind the red illumination. There's totems and ruined stone structures everywhere. Especially you, Tennessee, you're looking around and you realize that the stuff that you're seeing, these things have to be hundreds of years old. You see crude carvings of what appear to be snake men subjugating mankind with a great serpent encircling the world. Illuminated at the center, tied to the altar, is a young woman clad in a white gown. The victim appears to be struggling and whimpering, though you figure at this point they have to have been overcome by the incense. It's just, you can smell it from up here. It's just hard to believe that anything, anyone could be down there for that long and not be overcome.
All right. Well, I'm assuming we've stopped the car and gotten out while we're looking at all this.
Oh yeah, no,
Yeah,
you've been
we've been
at this point. You've been walking
walking,
for a while. You've been
Oh,
walking.
okay. Okay. In true Tennessee fashion, he's going to see the young girl on the altar, and he's just going to sit there and look at and say to the rest of the people, like, "Guys, watch my back. They ain't getting her on my watch." And he runs off to go rescue.
How many people are there total, like around, other than the girl?
So
I didn't hear him say anybody. He just said empty
as you're
seats, I
looking
thought.
down and trying to take in the full scene, make your look. The smoke behind the altar seems to solidify, and a giant nightmarish creature with a humanoid body with vicious clawed hands, the long winding neck and head of a cobra, and 4 writhing tentacles at its side steps forth. And
You could have mentioned that before I ran off.
you're heading down to the altar.
Classic.
This is because-
I
Eyes for the
was, because I
women.
thought it was.
Okay, no,
only
you're,
at the
yeah, well, let's put it this way.
amphitheater.
Hey, if you
didn't
want to
say
start on
any
your way
of
down
this
there, that's
before.
just fine. I mean, that doesn't hurt anything.
Well, it's not really going to stop me from trying to save the girl, but it's going to change the way in which I try to save the girl. I'm not just going to run down there and grab her and say, if something moves, shoot them, because apparently something's moving. All right. You say, okay, so you said there was an amphitheater. Are the seats full in the amphitheater, or is it just the one creature? Because I haven't heard you say anything about anybody being here until just now.
You
I
know
thought
what's
it was
funny?
empty.
You know what the fun thing is? There's
So,
supposed
like,
to be people
where-
here, and
Who's
trying to figure out
playing?
where they are.
Yeah, because I
The
didn't hear
drums
you
are
say
just
anything
coming.
about.
The drum, the
Magic drums,
the
mystic
drumming
drums.
noise is just coming from the air.
Yeah, but that's background sound. Frogs could be farting for all I know. I mean, it sounds like drums at this point. Because I thought it was an empty amphitheater. The way you were describing it made it sound like it was an empty amphitheater in the middle.
The way
of
they have the
and I was
description,
like,
it sounds like an empty amphitheater. But then there are suddenly people here, and I'm trying to figure out where they are in relation to you because I missed that part.
yeah, because I'm
See,
not just
it
going to
does
run
seem like-
down and try to grab the girl in an amphitheater full of zealots and a big snake god. I'm going to try to sneak around to the side.
Okay, so apparently, as you get closer to the bottom of the amphitheater, you notice that before the altar that were kind of hidden by the heavy smoke
Gosh, Amanda.
about, there are some 14 what appear to be cultists. Six of them look more or less human, wearing robes.
More bullets.
6 of them have possible serpentine, serpentine heads. And then there are 2 larger that are definitely more have the head of a serpent. As you get closer, what you realize is that the view of that serpent figure that you saw up on the altar is almost almost looks like a spirit surrounding a figure that you soon realize is Dr. Serpent himself, and he's holding a knife, getting ready to sacrifice the victim.
Okay. Well,
Like, how long
I'm
do we think we
already
have here?
I'm already on my way
Mhm.
because I didn't notice the people from the top of the amphitheater.
Yeah.
And according to you, there's 14 of them, which is 2 more than I have bullets. So I'm gonna need my tomahawks. I'm still going down there, and
I mean, I
I've told
guess-
the group, cover my back. Looking
right, upon
specifically at Bucky when I say cover my back. And I start skirting around the edge of the amphitheater. And I'm going to try to line myself up to where I can run in, try to grab the girl, try to take out as many as I can, and keep going. And I'm going to hope that my friends will create enough of a distraction once I get started. Because, hey,
So
die
let
young,
me
leave a
put it to you
good
this
looking
way.
corpse.
I think basically with what you're looking at, you are pretty sure there's no way you're going to be able to grab the girl, get her off the altar, loosen off the altar without him bringing the knife down first.
How
Okay.
far away?
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
How far away?
I'm gonna be running. Hang on. I'm gonna be running down there, and I see him raise that knife. I pull one of my guns, and I'm gonna try to shoot the knife out of his hand.
Okay.
I mean, it's a gun.
Katie.
I've got range.
Mhm.
That amphitheater
Robert?
can't be that big.
Oh, hold on.
Robert?
Katie first.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, how far away are we from that amphitheater?
From
From the altar? Yeah.
From the altar. Well, were you just waiting at the top while he ran down, or?
No, I think we followed him, especially if he wasn't going like straight down the middle, but around the side a little bit. I mean, yeah, so I don't have the specific details of like individual
Ranges.
spell ranges, but I do
Okay.
have a spell called Blinding Flash. I don't know if you have more details in like the full book, but
Actually, I thought I had like written that out reasonably.
you just
well.
wrote all in a 10-foot radius, but like what point of origin?
Okay. Hold on a second. Let me see what. I'm assuming that has. Well, actually, that's a good question. While you're doing that, Matt, what did you want to do, Maddie? Like,
I'm going to cut towards the middle of the amphitheater to try and get within 25 feet of as many of those guys in the middle as I can.
okay.
I'm gonna get ready with a follow-up shot with my radium pistol to follow up with Tennessee's shot.
Okay. So
just to be
creates a
clear, you're
blinding
aiming
flash
at
of
the
light
bad
within.
guy, right?
So basically, you can
No, you.
for Marie, you can put that 50 feet away.
Can I cast? Am I close enough within 50 feet that I could cast that in theory, like in front of the altar there too?
Yes, actually. So let's do this.
Bear in mind that it's probably going to blind me as well.
Well, I'm going to have you get
Don't know
your
what's
shot
gonna
off.
happen.
I'm going to let the shots go off before the spell does. Mike, I'm sorry. What was you wanted to do?
As soon as he raises his gun, I'm going to make sure I'm farther than 25 feet away from everybody else. And I'm going to incite rage. So as many of those little guys up front that I can get within 25 feet are going to go ballistic and start slaughtering each other with bonuses to strength and con.
I love it. T-Cat, thank you so much for the raid. Good to see you. Glad you could make it in. We are at the climactic fight where Dr. Serpent is basically one swing of a dagger away from sacrificing a victim and becoming one with the Serpent God. So let's do this.
The
Yeah,
stakes are
Tennessee,
really low.
take a shot.
Mhm.
Go for it.
Okay, hang on. So that's a +8 to hit, and that would be Dex well, it wouldn't be Strength, right? It'd be Dex.
Yeah, it's your dex.
Okay, great, because my Strength sucks. All right.
This time.
17 +3 +8. So
All right.
28? No.
All right.
17 +3 is 20. Yeah, no, 28. Yeah.
How much damage?
I don't know. I was making sure it hit first.
It's gonna hit.
D12. What does that look like? Oh, that one. Wow, I haven't rolled D12 in ages. Actually, I rolled D12 the other day. That's upside down. 9.
9. All right.
And mind you, I was trying to hit the dagger, not him. I want to shoot the dagger out of his hand. Do I get
All right. We're going to
that, or
we're going to do this all at the same time. I want everyone to figure out what happens on everyone's stuff before I tell you what happens. what do you call it? Bucky.
All right, I'm gonna roll my
Uh,
shot
Hang
with
on,
my radiant.
hang on, Robert. I have a question. Because I can fight two-handed, do I get 2 shots with my pistols?
Yeah, remember it's -2 to both your shots. You can fire twice, but I mean you're still going to hit with the -2 on that
I
one.
thought it was -2 to the second shot.
Nope,
Or
it's
the
on
second.
both of them.
Oh, that's right. That's right. You said that. So -2, that would have been 26 to hit.
Yeah,
for the
that's still
first
hit.
one.
Yeah.
And then the second one, I'm going to aim at Dr. Serpent.
Okay, go for it.
-2. Oh, and that one's not as good. That was a 12 plus 8 is 20 plus 3, 23 minus 2, 21.
All right, no, that's going to hit as well. Roll your damage.
Oh, jeez. Hang on. Let me re-roll my D20 and not my D12. Dumbass.
Wait, you hit with a D12?
Well, yeah, I rolled a 12. All right. The D. I can't. I need glasses.
If the D20 is
That's
worse,
that's an
just
11. So
comical.
that's a dirty 20.
All right,
The
that
11.
still hits.
Second shot is a 20. Okay. Now for damage with the D12. Gee, God. You'd think I'd never played this game before. That's a 9.
All right, Bucky.
I rolled a 6. It says here the bonus is +5. Do I also add any dex bonuses or anything on top of that?
What's
Or my
your
level?
what was your dex bonus?
My dex bonus is 2, and it's a prime ability.
I think the bonus is already put in. I think that was already figured in to his thing. Yeah, that's not going to hit.
So that's just an 11 then.
Yeah, that's not enough. All right. So Marie, burst of light. And that was, I believe there's a save involved in that.
Yeah, so it is. Yep. So I'm gonna cast blinding flash. It's a 10-foot radius. So probably can hit a good chunk of the people who are all right around in that area. And it's a con save. Or
Hold on a second.
they're blinded for a round. I do not know what the con save DC is.
That's all right. Okay. And the 3 shots ring out. Suddenly there's a big blast of light, and Maddie, what's the save that they need?
I rolled a 16, which gives me the 24, which makes the CC. So they need to make a CC 24 charisma save.
Okay, I have to give you all credit. I mean, there are some rules that I probably should have that are probably apply here, but for the sake of time and rule of cool, I'm going to just ignore like distances and such. This is probably the most well coordinated attack I've seen in a long time.
Without any planning.
With no
With no planning whatsoever.
We are a team. I mean, the thing said that we've known each other for ages, for God's sake.
Yeah, we've known each other and worked together. So
This is just the modus operandi here,
So,
we're like the A team, We're a bunch of misfits, but we get the job done.
mass chaos suddenly takes over. The flash of light goes off, and they're screaming and yelling. And as the light goes, you notice that Dr. Serpent is apparently bleeding from a bullet in his side, as well as in his arm, which has knocked his arm backwards. The figure is still writhing on the altar, screaming a bit more because some blood has apparently dripped onto it, and she realizes momentarily that's not hers, but gets a good look at the fate that awaits her, and you hear what is going on as you realize that all the cultists have started beating on each other.
As
Hey,
any good
you-
cultist should do.
You fools! You fools! Stop! Stop! In the name
It's a
of
Jedi mind trick.
and he looks at the rest of you. You'll pay for this.
The check's in the mail.
What's a check? It's 1939. Did they have checks back then?
And he goes to swing at the victim, and he suddenly realizes he doesn't have his dagger in his hand, and
You're
he
welcome.
starts going searching for it, scrambling about on the altar.
Yeah, turn your back on me. That'd be great.
No, this is my time. My time. I was promised. Yeah, go ahead and take your shots at him again.
Well, I see. He's got his back to me. Do I get a bonus for him being attack of opportunity or
blind?
I'm gonna give you a +2 for him being flat-footed.
Okay.
So basically, make your attack rolls as normal. Ignore the -2 for your double shots.
for double shots? Got you. Well, that's probably a miss. That's an 8 on the dice. +8, 16. And Dex is a +3, so a 21. Well, maybe not bad. 21.
That's gonna hit.
Sweet. I can roll like crap. I'm good. And that's a 12, so that's even better.
All right.
So
And roll your second attack.
that was my second attack.
Okay.
I was rolling the shots first to see if I hit, and then
Oh, okay. All right. Gotcha.
so both hit. First one did 1 point of damage. The second one did 9 points of damage, so 10 points of damage.
All right. Go with the radium gun.
All right. Do you think I can get into? Well, no. Let's go with radium gun. Odds are better with that one, I think. All right.
Hey, that's
All right. 15 + 5, 20 total.
That's gonna hit.
All right. Total damage is 7 + 4, 11. 11
Ooh.
points of damage.
He suddenly you hear him scream as he gets pounded by hit with 3 bullets. Damn you! Maddie, what would you like to do?
To quote Captain
far away
America,
is he?
language.
He's about 25. At this point, he's probably about 20 feet away from you as you're all drawing.
Oh, good.
Drawing
That's a
in.
+12 to hit.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's a 26.
Okay.
And I assume since he's a mass murderer, he counts as a criminal.
Oh,
So yeah, take him down. So I get +2 to damage. So that's 9
Yeah.
points of damage.
I'm pretty sure he's never been to mass.
We literally just witnessed him commit a crime.
now, is there, I forget how that ability the take him down works.
It's +2 to hit and damage against criminals and thugs.
Okay. Was there any special effect from it though?
No.
The
Okay.
DM cries was the extra effect.
Yeah,
Marie.
So I am going to try and cast fairy fire on
Mhm.
him and anybody else I can get in that like radius. Ooh, yes. Okay, so that is a successful spell cast. So then for 5 minutes, +1 to hit. And they're all glowing.
What's
All
the
right.
radius?
10 foot.
So at this point, he manages to locate his dagger. The carnage below you or in front of you is starting to thin out as these guys have started basically hacking each other to death with large daggers and blades and such. Those who aren't dead already are probably well on their way there. They don't seem to be paying any particular attention to you. Their anger is focused at each other. You note that
But
he's
at least
found
they
his
can't
dagger,
hide from each other.
and Dr. Serpent is making his way back to the victim. We are going to roll initiative. So let's see.
That's
John,
right, Kate. She lost last time. Mhm.
Yep. John, you are the newbie to the channel.
Oh,
So
D10.
I just want you to roll straight up D10.
Or this one.
You got it. Ooh, I can't see
Just
it.
say 10.
Four.
Whatever you roll, just say 10.
Strong
Adventure Guide has a 4 as well. Roll again.
Oh my gosh, roll off already.
4.
4 again.
2.
I
All right. Do you want to take another shot with your pistol? The radium gun?
think I want to slide into swashbuckling range, if that's possible.
Sure. Let's go for it.
So holster that, flip on my what's it called?
Electric sword?
Refractor.
No, my refractive cloaking filter, which
Mhm.
lasts for 2d6 rounds. So that's
Wow,
going to be
language, young man, language.
Frack. So 5 rounds. I'm going to get +2 to AC for that.
All right.
And stealth, which I'm not doing. And my objective here is to put myself between Dr. Serpent and his victim so that he can't complete the ritual.
All right. Give me a dexterity check.
Okay. A good one.
Good. Yeah.
18 plus 2. So it's dirty 20.
Plus prime.
Yeah. So
Right.
as you're all, as you're all making, getting ready to make your own personal moves, you see Bucky just suddenly put his gun away and kind of almost like leapfrog through the mouth. To make it really dramatic, he didn't just dive his way through the cultists that have been killing each other. With a single leap, he landed. His first step led him onto the stage, as it were. The second leap ended up him basically leaping onto the altar and over the woman who is tied down there. And suddenly you just see a shimmer, and you can see Dr. Serpent standing there, but there's weird shimmering between him and the young woman who's tied down there as he gets himself in the way. Since it's all happening simultaneously, let's see, Maddie.
Since the guys have beaten each other to death now, I can stop concentrating on emotion and the rage.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to look at Dr. Serpent and tell him to throw. Because the only thing he has in his hand is his dagger. And that will go off with a 27, so he needs to make a DC 21 charisma save.
Bucky, if he makes this, you're his target, right?
Throw at Bucky.
What's that shimmer?
All right. Well, while we're doing that, let's get to what do you call it? Tennessee.
Wow, really? What do you call it? Really? The dashing, good-looking one that started all this mess? All right, I see that shimmer and I get confused and I shoot at it. No, I'm just joking.
Please.
I'm assuming I'm like up close and personal with Dr. Serpent at this point.
Oh yeah, I mean you're basically you're I think because of the way you were going, you're pretty much near the side of the near the side of the altar.
After the second set of shots, I holstered my pistols and I pulled out the tomahawks and I'm just gonna go full L enhancement shaman on him and hack and slash, trying to dismember him. I need a good snakeskin belt.
All right.
Even though my
make your
tomahawks do a
attacks.
little bit less damage, but it's just one of those. it's more satisfying.
More visceral feel to it.
Yeah, it's satisfying. You know, if you're gonna skin a snake, snake it right, skin it right. You know?
Especially after all that poison.
Yeah, yeah. There's that too. I'm gonna let them know I'm not happy about that. So the first one, what the hell is that? Hang on, I can't tell if that's a 10 or a 16. Okay, that's a 16.
Okay.
First one's a 16, and that is dexterity. That's a prime plus 3, 8, 19. So 19 to hit.
That's going to hit.
All right. And the second one, God, really? Oh shit, that's a 20.
Woo!
All right.
That am a 20, so 23 plus. Oh yeah, I forgot to add the 8 for my tomahawks. So 29 for the first one and 30 for the second one.
Yeah, well,
31 for the second
hit.
one.
Yeah.
So, and those only do 1d6, so I'm just gonna roll them both at once. Would you stay in your goddamn box? 9 points total.
Okay. All right. And before I give the what happens with Mike's spell, Katie, did you go yet this round?
I did not.
Okay.
I am actually going to try and pull out. I have a pistol as well, so I'm gonna pull out my gun and try and take a shot at him. I'm not very
You have a
proficient
pistol?
with this weapon. I do. What'd you say?
I was gonna say, you have a pistol? Please don't aim toward me.
That is probably not going to hit with a 10 attack.
Yeah.
And there I go. The
So
bad guy. Shoot the bad guy.
you see that he goes to swing the dagger at the the shimmering view of Bucky standing in front of him to get at his target. Out of the corner of his eye, he sees he sees Tennessee barreling towards him, hatchets in hand, and he turns and he goes to fling his dagger at him, and he throws it to the top of the hill. As his daggers, he's, what? No! Just as the hatchets land in him, and he's like, it wasn't supposed to end this way. And he crumples to the ground.
Colton.
And he stands up straight and goes, my kill.
So to give you an idea, one of the things that was supposed to happen in the other portion that we weren't going to have time to, so I kind of fast tracked it. That roadhouse, technically at some point you're going to be making dexterity checks until one of you drove the vehicle off the road for real.
Oh man.
Yours came a little bit too early. It wouldn't been quite as interesting. Plus the fact that I knew we weren't going to get to it, so it's like, all right, time switch drivers. Basically, the roadhouse is where the victim was going to be chosen from. There's going to be somebody who is going to betray everybody in there, and you probably would have had a lot less powers available for this final fight because you were going to have to survive the siege. Of undead.
Gotcha.
Oh.
So yeah, that was kind of where that was going. Would have made it a lot more. This probably would have been a lot more interesting at the end, but I mean, hell of a use of powers to just like take everything out. So it all ended
That's
up
one of
being
the
really cool.
cool mechanics of the system, right? Is the siege checks.
We don't mess around when the world's in stake.
Yeah, I'm sorry, John. What'd you say?
Oh, I was saying that's one of the cool mechanics of the system, right? The siege checks.
Yes, I mean it simplifies everything. It's you've got games, and there are other games that do it different. Like I mean, I play Pathfinder 2e, and I enjoy it. It's got a rule for everything. There's a mechanic for everything. Here, there's mechanics, but honestly, it's like, okay, well,
They're on strike.
if it's not on your sheet, try something. I'll find a check for you to run. We'll figure something out. But yeah, it's really really cool. Thank you. First of all, thank you all for agreeing to play and doing such a fantastic job of bringing these characters to life. It was a lot of fun. Like I said, I've been wanting to run an Amazing Adventures game for a while, and this finally gave me an excuse to do it. I want to thank the Mad Chatters, the raids from Troll Lord Games, from TCAT, and I'm trying to remember if there was one other one in there. I don't think so though. But we had 2 raids. I believe we did have a hype train at one point, or maybe not. We did have some gift subs. Thank you, Kai Whimsy, for the gift subs. And Amanda Mystical Unicorn Painting is putting in the Indiegogo for the new printing of Amazing Adventures. Again, with just like with Castles and Crusades, there's no new edition. It's a new printing. It may have more artwork, new artwork added to it. Probably clean up and I know they're cleaning up and rearranging where some of the rules are to help it make more sense. There is a digital version. There is going to be a digital version of the new printing, so that'll also help. And they've already, it's happening. I mean, the game's already met what it was needed. They were closing in, I believe, on unlocking their third different bonus, and they're trying to hopefully unlock all 4, which would be really cool. But we want to. You can run this game. You can go between this and Castles and Crusades, mix match. I'm actually planning on taking some of the classes and probably adding them to Castles and Crusades because you can. They might need a little tweaking, but that's about it. Really good game, really good group, and I highly recommend if you're able to join the Indiegogo, please do. It'd be a huge help to them. So let's go one more time around, and introduce the players. And this time we will go in reverse order. We'll start with our newbie, John, playing James Bucky Newson.
Yeah, thanks. It was a great time. And Leaf in the Wind on Twitch and or Leaf in places where it matters. And thanks for having me. It was a blast.
It was a pleasure having you, John. And it's great to meet you. I'm glad you're here. You're in the community now, and well, we just keep people here. Not a lot to leave. All right. Next up, Mike.
Mike, better known as Amanda's husband, Necromantic DM on Twitch, and Beowulf316 on Discord.
All right. Okay. Thanks, Mike. And Katie.
Katie, or Sweet KT 420. But it's been a blast. Thank you for DMing or adventure guiding tonight, Robert. It was really fun. And yeah, I always have a good time. This is my 3rd one shot, all run by you so far on Blue Box. So it's been a blast, and now I'm excited to have roped in one more into our Blue Box community.
Yes. more.
Yeah.
All right. And finally, the man who probably really needs no introduction. You've seen his artwork all around the Discord and multiple Discords, but especially the Blue Box Discord. Pat. I think you're muted, Pat.
Oh no!
I'm just saying you didn't get shyness now.
Yeah, that button helps. It's like I get gassy, so I try not to offend people. I'm Pat Draws on Instagram and Twitter. I believe it's _Pat Draws, and you can always find me doing my best to troll John in Blue Box streams and Roll for Perceptions. I do a lot of their character art there as well, and I just try to game whenever I can. It's hard to get into some of it sometimes, but it's fun. I always have a blast, and this was a lot different than what I was expecting, and I had fun just kind of letting loose tonight. So
Awesome.
It was fun. It was fun pulling Amanda for a change, and just running and guns blazing and touching things. Anybody who comes into Friday Night Crusades knows exactly what I'm talking about.
Oh,
Our
yes,
little
yes.
resident murder pixie. So
And so, thanks, Pat, and thank you for being the first to volunteer. It was appreciated getting the ball rolling on getting this game going. And so, yeah, I'm well. I mean, you all know me. I'm Rob. Phantom NJ, Phantom NJ underscore D&D on Twitter. And actually on Hive now, it just says Phantom NJ. Um, you can find me here tomorrow evening because why wait to have another session with me? I'll be hosting Going Solo with Lore Masters Arcanum tomorrow. Tomorrow night's Lore Master Arcanum, we're going to be talking about, we had the discussion on magical items and artifacts and such. Tomorrow night, we're going to be talking about magical weapons, but I want to talk about magical weapons other than swords, because I think the swords get entirely too much of the attention, and I want to talk about the stuff that's already out there, as well as the stuff that what are some if you're looking for things to ideas to bring up, what are some of the weapons that you think that there should be magical varieties of, and for interest, whether they be for classes or such. But we will be talking about that at a normal time tomorrow night on Lore Masters Arcanum. As always, actually, there will be no Friday Night Crusades this week. Normally, you can find me in Discord at 8 p.m. Eastern on Friday nights for Friday Night Crusades. Anyone at any time is welcome to join us, either listen or to play. Details are in the Discord channel. However, I will be at PAX Unplugged in Philadelphia this weekend, so we will not have Friday Night Crusades this week. We will be back, Friday of next week, though. So, yeah, thank you once again. I'm going to bring us to the ending soon screen. However, we are going to raid. Who do we want to raid this evening? I'm thinking. Actually, I know who I'm raiding this week. Actually, I don't know how much longer they have. Pat, do you know how long they normally go on Tuesdays?
they go till 10. They start at 7, go till 10.
All right. Yeah,
So we
well,
got a little over an hour.
we're going to go right into some old friends on tonight. So, let me get that started. And we will be rating them soon. But in the meantime, stream ending screen.
Katie, Johns, and Mike, it was great running with you guys.
Great
Indeed.
playing. That was great.
It was nice meeting new friends.
Everyone, please stick around for the raid and to roll for perception, where Terry and Evelyn are playing. Actually, Mike Disney, who should also be playing tonight. Another channel favorite. We got 47 and rating now. Good night.
Good night.
And I forgot the what are you doing, but whatever.
There's a thing
All right.
that we'll
Yeah.
that's
Thank you so much.
if you remember this, yeah.
Gotcha. What are you doing? Why
Yeah.